The future is bright indeed. We're all of us dreaming of the better days ahead, and a part of your bright new future could be a move to where the magic lives in the greater Orlando area of Florida. One of the biggest decisions you'll make when considering a move is selecting a realtor who can successfully match you with the right home in the right location at the right price. Victor Naraki is the realtor who can help you make the move you've always wanted to. Whether you're a first-time homeowner or looking to move near Disney World, Victor is in your corner. If you are looking for an experienced real estate agent covering all of Central Florida, please visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com today and find out just why you should work with Victor. I encourage you to create a free, no-obligation account on his website. By doing so, you'll unlock the website's full potential and be able to enter specific criteria, save listings, and browse new properties sent to your email. Visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com today or visit his Facebook page, Victor Naraki Realtor. And don't forget to tell him the Grand Circle Tour podcast sent you.
And we're live!
We are live! Woo!
How exciting!
Oh, and Stan's already, he's on Facebook, apparently. We don't
I'm
know.
on Facebook. I'm busy.
he's sharing it out so everyone can
Yes.
see it. So,
Oh, there we go. I was getting it.
There he is.
watching, go ahead and share it.
There we
Hi,
are.
Marla.
Stan
All
Solo
right, there we go. I
says,
couldn't
hey,
get my
gang.
chat to work. Oh, how are you two?
Good.
I am doing great. How are you doing? If I look a little shaggy, it's because I've been at the lake all weekend for Memorial Day.
I'm still angry I didn't get to go to celebration.
Oh,
How's Chris? How's the people in the chat doing? Everyone, let me know how you're doing. Give me some.
hi, Janina.
Hearts. Get those hearts and thumbs going. Let me know how you're doing
Let's
down
see.
there.
We've got we've got Mary, we've got Cindy, we've got Marla, Tina. All sorts of people are here today.
Yes.
Right on.
We've got a great crowd.
Great crowd.
Apparently,
We've got a
people are
great
interested
show.
in this Star Wars sort of stuff.
Mary, you had to work today? What's up with that?
Mary is still annoyed she
Oh.
didn't work today. Well, I work today.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but you're at a grocery store. Of course,
you're
you're
in Canada.
Also, today is known as Monday in Canada.
Yeah, right. Oh, still had to do that payroll.
Payroll.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, doesn't Mary do like accounting sort of
Hi,
thing? Yeah,
Steve.
payroll.
Steve's
Sure,
here.
payroll. End of the month doesn't wait for anyone.
That's right.
Yeah, no kidding.
Payroll waits for no man.
Oh, look at this! Everybody's giving Mary the hearts, the hugging hearts. Everybody's giving her there.
Oh, that's
Payday
We
is
all care
Friday.
about you,
You're gonna
Mary.
get paid.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
rule.
payday is still Friday. It doesn't matter.
Galaxy's Edge did not trip my trigger.
Oh, really?
Canada used to be cool once upon a time. Remember that?
Yeah.
Hey, Scott.
You remember like
Hey,
5
Scott,
minutes
too.
ago when she was like so cool?
When she was cool? Yeah, exactly. B is here.
Hi, Daisy.
Okay. Let's do the hidden Mickey of the week. We got a lot of stuff to show.
Yes.
I was a busy
So
guy.
apparently there was a Star Wars celebration of some sort we're gonna talk about. Yeah.
I gotta say though, even though I didn't get to go, the coverage that StarWars.com did was phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
that's
watched
great.
it 9 hours a day for 4 days in a row. Plus, I worked on top of that. I'm only working 4-hour days right now. But yeah, it was phenomenal. Their coverage was amazing. I have to give it kudos to them.
I
But anyways,
get
let's get to the hidden Mickey here. So today's hidden Mickey was sent to us by who's in the chat, Marla.
Ooh.
Marla, all right.
Yeah. So
Okay,
this
so-
one is interesting. Can you even see the hidden Mickey in this?
Okay. I see
well-
2350. That's what's
Is it
leaping out at me
an
here.
abstract hidden Mickey?
It's Marla said this to me, and I said, Marla, that's not a hidden Mickey. And then she explained it to me. I went, whoa, is that ever an awesome hidden Mickey?
I see the numbers. I see circles.
Thank you,
but
Jason. I really wanted to go. Nope, Mary can't see it. Okay. If you
so
look at
what
the
am I
white,
looking at here?
if you look at the white inside the 3, it's the 2 ears.
Oh,
And it makes an awesome hidden Mickey.
You're right. It
Um,
does. Holy cow.
And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
No, that's right.
Okay, so this is like the arrow inside of the FedEx logo.
Yes,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Yes.
So where is this located?
Where
what
is
I
this
wanna
located
know.
is the question.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of a futuristic sort of
Hey, Beatrice says, now I
Tomorrowland,
see it.
Epcot.
Wow, yeah.
Is that in Spaceship Earth?
Ooh.
You know that I'll give you that for the style.
Mm-hmm.
Steve doesn't see it yet.
It does feel very, very Epcot future world sort of
still doesn't see
style.
it. For people that don't know, Steve's blind. So
Oh,
there we go.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, there we are. Yeah, you guys are right. It is Mission Space.
Okay. I've never been in Mission Space, so
There we go.
no, that is Spaceship Earth. That's not
Or sorry,
That's
Spaceship Earth. What am I
Spaceship
talking about? Spaceship Earth, right. It's Spaceship Earth. I'll go back to sleep now.
Okay.
Okay, go take a nap.
Geez. So we're like,
Wow.
okay, so
Right
on
here.
the satellite dish. Okay, thank you,
Yes,
Stan, for
Got it.
doing
Right
the
here.
arrow.
Yeah.
Yay.
Isn't that oops, sorry.
That
Isn't that an amazing hit? I don't know how many
It
times I've
is.
looked at that mural waiting in line.
Now I'm gonna have to go look
You
at that when I go.
I'm gonna have to do a Steve Barrett here though. Does that qualify?
It totally qualifies. 100% that
Because
qualifies.
You
Once you
got-
see it, you can't unsee it.
well,
Okay, people in the chat, what do you think?
yeah,
Does this qualify as a hidden Mickey?
but it's 2 ears. It's not a circle underneath it.
Sure there is. The space between the 2 3s is a circle.
That's not a circle. That's a square.
That's a hidden Mickey. I don't care what anybody says.
Mary.
I think this is
Very.
something. I think this is
Sure,
something
why
that is
not?
debatable enough. I mean, I see what you're getting at, and I appreciate it. But I'm
Oh, Holly came in a bit late. She doesn't quite see it. Inside the
I'm-
3, Holly, the white, you look at the white, that's the 2 ears inside the 3. And then between the 3 makes the face.
I'm
the
gonna
fact that
say
the 3 is a different color makes it seem more deliberate.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
I'm
Scott
gonna
sees it, but he
say
agrees with Justin.
definitely-
He does not think it's a hidden Mickey.
Definitely abstract. Whatever.
Beatrice thinks it is. She loves it.
Yeah, because it looks like 2 ears on a square instead of 2 ears on a circle.
Oops. Might be easier to see it in person. Yeah, that could be. Ken says it's a stretch.
It's a
When you look at
stretch.
it,
You know, I'm willing to have these conversations and these
oh,
debates
for sure.
about
But
these
when you
things.
see it like
So-
this, I'm thinking if you see it in person like this, it
Yeah.
might look more
Yeah.
rounded. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was an awesome hidden Mickey. I and again, like I was like you guys. Marta sent it to me. I'm like, Marta, that's not a hidden Mickey. So what I liked about this too was that someone sent this. If you guys are at Disney World and you see hidden Mickey, do it like this. How she did it. She took a close up and she took a wide shot and told me where it was. so we can use these because
Yeah.
this is great. Okay,
Yeah,
Kiana says it's
absolutely.
totally.
Absolutely send us your hidden Mickey pictures.
Yes.
You know
We,
what? I'm
we
going to check
want
to
more
see
of
if it's in,
these.
let's see if it's in the app. because I got the Hidden Mickey Guys app right here. Someone
That's gonna be my mission when I'm there in October, is searching out hidden Mickeys. So
I hear there's a book you can get.
there is. I have it. I don't know. I just like
just a shout out to
for
Steve Barrett because we love him.
It's like that one that Beatrice found that we showed last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never, ever in a million years noticed that. And I've been on Living with the Land, 100 times maybe, right? And never, ever noticed that before. So why her eyes were drawn to that spot at that particular moment, who knows?
Okay, well, it's not listed.
My thing is, like, anytime you see any bit of detail, any bit of decoration that involves circles, look for a hidden Mickey, because there's going to be one somewhere.
Yes.
Even if you don't see it, there is one.
It's not listed on the app, so we'll have to somebody text or
we'll send this to Steve. Well, so he can put it up for his usual.
Yeah, it's not in the app. Anyways, brought to you by
Disney@yourdoorstep.com.
Our friend Victor Naraki, who is a wonderful real estate agent in the Orlando area. If you are looking to move closer to the magic, this is the guy to talk to. He can get you all of the information you want to know about where you want to move, where you want to live, and how close you can be to the Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
Exactly. He's got a hidden Mickey in his front yard. That's his lamppost.
Well, it's not very hidden, is it?
Lights up and everything.
He likes to keep his Mickeys out on his sleeve.
And all over his shirt.
All over his shirt.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Star Wars Celebration. There wasn't a heck of a lot for announcements. Really, for considering we haven't had a celebration in 2 years or 3 years, whatever it is. There wasn't a lot. But
I like this. He probably puts a hidden Mickey in every house he sells. I bet you're right.
I would.
Now there was somebody that I guess they put these Mickey wooden spindles on their fence posts, on the railing posts, live in Celebration. And I guess the homeowners association said they couldn't do that because it violates they have to take them down. Yeah.
Well, at that point, I would be doing a violent coup overthrow of the homeowners association because that's just not acceptable.
So Lego Summer Vacation
Lego
is going to be
Star
coming
Wars
out.
Summer Vacation. I love this idea.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
so I guess we had the Christmas special, right? The holiday special.
Yeah.
We had the Halloween one.
Mm-hmm.
I think was that the first one, the Halloween one, and then the next year was the Christmas one, and now they're doing the summer one. Or was it?
I think it was the other way around.
I think it was the other way around.
I think we had the holiday special, then we had the Halloween one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now we got a summer vacation.
Yep.
Now we got a summer vacation one. Yeah. So this one is going to have the summer, and this, I guess, the first one was kind of based around Poe, and then the next one was kind of based around or Ray, and then Poe, and now this one's going to be more based around Finn.
Okay.
I guess Finn's the one that wants to take the summer vacation. The voice actors, this is so Anthony Daniels, of course, you're not going to have C-3PO ever without Anthony Daniels.
Right.
Until Anthony Daniels dies, we're not.
Well, even then, I think they're just going to use a robotic, like recordings of his.
How many of these people do we need to get into a studio and just make sure we have all the voice snippets that we need to recreate their voice after they die? Because there's so many of them, and he is one.
So Billy D. Williams, Lando's going to be there. D. Bradley Baker, is he the one that plays all the clones?
Yeah, he's the one who does Boba Fett and all the clones in Clone Wars and Rebels, I think.
Yeah, so Bad Batch, he does every one of the Bad Batch. Then you got a bunch of the regular ones, but the one that I liked was right here. Weird Al.
Weird
Al Yankovic. Yes.
But I want to point out one that I am just thrilled about because I love him as an actor. Is Omar Miller is going to be Finn, and he is, if you know your CSI Miami things like I do. He was on there for several seasons, and I just love him. He's great. So I think he's going to do a really good job.
Right on. Finn. Then Ross. I can't pronounce his last name. It's Han Solo. Leia, Emperor Palpatine. Yeah. Boba Fett. Okay, there you go. And Rey. Okay. But I don't think many people know this yet, but it's going to be set on the Halcyon.
Really?
Yeah, the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser.
Oh, wow.
I was parked outside Hollywood Studios most of the time. Is the setting for this series, which I thought was kind of cool and kind of neat because I've been wanting to see more of the Halcyon story. We're going to get in Lego form.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I am definitely looking forward to that. If only for the Weird Al cameo, but also because I love the Lego Star Wars specials that we've had before.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're aimed at a younger crowd, but I enjoy the heck out of them.
Yeah, they're fun.
Is Weird Al playing himself? Is that because it says that I didn't read know yet? Oh, Vic.
Oh, he's Vic Venko.
Yeah,
Vic Venko.
Okay, yeah, so he's not playing himself. I'm excited for this. I really am. Do you have some Lego stuff there, Justin?
Now I do have. Let me share my screen a bit. Here, share screen. Get this one. Share. All right. All right. So we have some new Lego sets coming out that have been announced. First one is a Brick Heads. If you're interested in the Brick Heads, we've got a new one with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader.
Oh, how cool.
Now, I'm not a big fan of the Brick Heads, but I love the way Darth Vader looks in this one. He fits into this style so well.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
We also
Vader's
have
a much better one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I say, it's a personal preference thing. I am so thankful that I never got into the whole Funko Pops because otherwise I would have a million of them. So Brickheads, kind of the same way, just trying not to get into them. We have Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter.
Nice.
That's cool.
And so we get R7 and a Kaminoan.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben.
And Ben.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan at this point. So we get the Inquisitor transport.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool looking.
So here we get a couple of our Inquisitors from the new series.
Ken says that Obi-Wan Brickheads would keep him up at night. Lincoln says he wants them. He wants the Brickheads. The Inquisitor ship.
And then
this
we get BD1.
Yeah, this one I like.
Hola.
So this character was introduced in Jedi Fallen Order, a video game, but has shown up in Book of Boba Fett in the Mandalorian segments.
Oh, that guy. Okay. Now, what's the little screen thing down there?
This thing here.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a little plaque.
Okay.
They're doing with a lot of these different ones because they expect you to put it on display, and so it's a little.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ambush on Ferrex, and this is from the new Andor series.
I think that would have been the Kenobi one. I think Ken wants. There's always that delay. That's cool.
I like those.
But yeah, so we have a few new Lego sets that have been introduced during the Star Wars celebration.
So while we're still on the topic of Lego, who's the actor? The Jin Darren, the actor that plays Mandalorian.
Pablo Pascal?
Pablo. Yes. So Pablo Pascal was being interviewed on Star Wars Celebration.
Oh.
And so the host of Star Wars Celebration was telling a story about when him and Pablo were at the Lego
Pedro, sorry.
Pedro, right?
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Pedro Pascal. So Pedro Pascal and the host from the Star Wars show were at a toy fair, and they were unveiling these new Lego figurines for the Mandalorian before the Mandalorian came out. It was before people got a chance to see them. They're still in prototype series. So he was telling the story. So I want to play this little video. It's hilarious.
Let me tell you about the time Pedro Pascal threw me under the bus.
I'm the one that got in trouble.
Do you remember, though, we were doing the reveal of the Mandalorian toys at D23.
I can't believe you're throwing me under the bus.
We showed off the Lego set. We showed off, I believe it was the Razor Crest with the Mandalorian minifig. And I was told before we did this segment, I was like, Anthony, they're going to be watching you. Don't move those toys from where they're supposed to be. Don't touch them. They all have to go in a specific place. They're coming out of locked briefcases that are handcuffed to somebody. Be very careful. I'm like, oh my gosh, I better not mess this up. We get done and we're looking around the table and we say, the Mando minifig is gone. This is a prototype Mandalorian Lego minifig. It's one of a kind. Security's patting me down. They're checking my pockets. Do you know who goes slinking out of the room?
I was like, that's little, and that's me. That's mine. They came for me.
Did they?
Yeah.
Did they knocked on your door?
Like, we need that back. I was like, oh, okay. Here.
And you're like, I eated it.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that he actually took that.
There we go. Yeah, there you go. Justin stole it now.
Yeah, Justin stole it from Pedro.
Can you believe that he takes Mandalorian prototype Lego?
Wow, that is too funny. And they thought the other guy did it.
I was cracking up. I was cracking up when I saw that. That's almost an unbelievable story. But he was right there, and he kind of basically fessed up to it, saying, "Yeah, they came and got it from me." It's little. It's me. It's mine.
Right.
You think they would have made him one? Though,
yeah, really.
Time. You know what I mean? Like,
that would have been the nice thing to do to prevent the man from taking it.
Oh man.
Oh goodness.
Ashley Eckstein, she plays Ahsoka Tano in all the Clone Wars and all that. She had a great interview before this one, and they were interviewing her, and I guess she mentioned, I posted on the Solo Show page, that she may not be the live action. Like a lot of fans think that she should be the live action Ahsoka Tano. I mean, looking back, it's probably not the best casting, but she does the voice in the animated series. But she says, I may not be the live action Ahsoka Tano, but I want you to think of me as your real Ahsoka Tano. So she's like really big into the character. She's a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And everything I've ever heard of her, that she's like the nicest person you could ever meet. I never got a chance to meet her. I came really close one time. I was with actually Lou Mangello, and we were at Celebration, and she was like doing an interview or something like that. And Lou says, "Oh, hey, I know her because she comes to his fundraising, not his thing he does, his business seminar." So Lou says, "I'll introduce you to her." And I was all giddy. I'm all excited. All right, I get to meet my girlfriend. So anyway, so she finished up, and I guess security swarmed around her, and she was in the middle, and they escorted her off the floor to her next thing. There was like no one was getting anywhere near her. There's like 6 big guys around her. Took away. But I just want to. This video came up, and I just wanted to show you how nice she is. That she's trying to introduce the panel, and people from the audience are yelling things at her. And instead of just ignoring them, she actually answers the people in the audience yelling things at her. It's hilarious.
Tamora Morrison and Daniel Logan are here with us. And what?
Oh. Like a
Okay. This is
like a bantha. Do the you got to do it, Tim. Like a bantha. They want the dance. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, well.
Oh my God.
Like a bantha.
I mean, more often than not, when people yell in the audience, they just kind of like to wave to them or something like that, and they'll ignore it. But she had, what? What are you saying? Like, I almost she didn't run down and start asking him. But and the guy was talking nonsense anyways. So Ken says, I think Rosario Dawson is a perfect physical representation of Sakatano. Yeah.
She is.
Yeah, she is. They made the right choice. Yeah. So Ashley lives in the Orlando area. Her husband is a baseball player and the coach of the Altamont Springs.
Yeah.
Come to my mall and hot toys at Buckland. She's great. Anyway, yes, the Beatrice has met her. I used to tell the managers to call me when she came through the shop so I could go through and actually say hi. Casually say hi. Nikki, who used to be with the Grand Circle Tour, she actually became pretty good friends with Ashley. They were talking back and forth, and unfortunately, Nikki had some health issues before we got a chance to get Ashley onto the show. I feel like I'm always like this close from meeting Ashley.
Yeah.
Those ears here that she designed a set of Mickey ears, and they were like cinnamon buns, like Princess Leia's cinnamon buns.
Okay.
And in order to purchase them, you had to enter a lottery. And I won the lottery to purchase them. And she was going to sign them, or they came in a box. They're kind of expensive though. They came in a box, and she was going to sign the box for anybody that won the lottery to purchase these ears. And I was like, what am I going to do with these ears? You know, so I ended up not buying them. I mean, the people that don't buy them, they were going to sell them anyways because people were lining up for people that didn't claim it as a lottery win. But anyways, yeah, so I ended up not buying them. But yeah, I could have bought them and got her to sign them and met her, but I don't want to spend $100 on a pair of ears. I don't need. So, anyways, that was 3 times I came close to meeting Ashley. So that was the panel that Ashley was hosting, was for the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars, the second Star Wars movie in numerical order. So the actor that played Boba Fett was his first movie with George Lucas, his first time meeting George Lucas and all that. And he was a little bit nervous, as you would be. You know, George Lucas at this point already is kind of like a legend director. And there was something he wanted to get fixed, but he kept his mouth shut. And he didn't tell George Lucas, I want this changed. And this is what happened with it.
But I remember one scene when Obi-Wan came to visit, check out his army. And I'm doing that Boba Fett, pack your bags, we got to leave. And I'm looking at the monitor, because George, in New Zealand, we don't even have monitors, but George has had this big, huge monitor, so I could see the shots. And I could see it was kind of a mid-shot. And I'm thinking, Boba, pack your gears, we're leaving. It's the end of the scene. And I'm thinking, maybe it's a bit too wide. Maybe I should suggest to George that he needs a close-up right there. But I thought I'd better not.
You didn't want to give George
for the
direction?
job, and let's not lead George to his directing thing. So 2-3 months later, I get a phone call. Tim, they need you to go to England to do some pickups on Attack of the Clones. And I live in New Zealand. So I flew all the way to England, 24, 26 hours. The next day I got up, went to work, I put all my gears on, and I had to walk in and say, Boba, pack your gears. And they went, thank you. And that was it.
You should have said something.
I said, can I do take 2 just since I flew all this way? So I went, Boba, pack your gears. We're leaving. Thank you.
Yes, speak your piece.
So,
Learn your lesson.
It's funny how he kind of went like the one thing he wanted to change in the movie, he kept his mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing they fly him back for from New Zealand to London. Mary's saying I should have bought those ears. You know what? I had regret right after I decided against buying them. It was like less than an hour later. I was like, I should have bought them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could have resold them. I know I could. I don't really resell anything. So
Yeah, I don't do the whole reselling thing. I just.
I know. I just got the hoarder thing going on.
Once I buy it, it's mine. It's mine. It's not someone else's. It's mine.
Yeah, she is usually a D23. She's a huge Disney fan as well. Like she goes to the parks and all that. She's the one who created. Yes, she is the one who created her universe. And yeah, she had the Ewok ears just come out. And that's another thing too. Like her universe is just doing gangbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's doing phenomenal business with that. And it started off being women's clothing only. Now she's starting to branch out to unisex clothing as well. Mary says, "I just buy stuff Steve is always talking about reselling."
Oh boy.
So, anyways, I thought that was a funny story that he told about the reshoot. And then actually talked about Star Wars weekends, and the next one to come up was Daniel Logan, who plays young Boba Fett in Episode 2. And so when Episode 2 came out, they did Star Wars weekends at Disney World at Hollywood Studios, and so Ashley Eckstein was there and Daniel Logan was there, and so she had a little story to tell about Daniel Logan that I thought was pretty funny. And it's typical Daniel from everything. I've never met him, but I've heard this type of story about him so many times.
Meet Daniel and actually several of the team up here at Disney Star Wars weekends. Did anyone go to Star Wars weekends? And I just remember Daniel, one of my first times I met him, we got to do this motorcade down Hollywood Boulevard at Disney. And, you know, they told us, they're like, do not jump out of your cars. Stay in your cars, just wave to the crowd. And we get out, and Daniel jumps out of his car and is just running around it, high-fiving everyone. And I just always loved your energy. And so yesterday, all of a sudden, we're in the autograph area, and I hear these poles just clanking and falling. And I look over, and it's your son knocked down all of the poles. And I was like, yep, that's Daniel's son. Yep.
I picked him up in hopes that no one saw him, and we could try to walk away really quickly, but obviously he saw. Dang it. Yeah, my son, he's just like me.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, that's what he goes on to say. My son's just like me. He says only he's worse than I ever was. Like, yeah, right. That's
funny. He still looks the same, but just a little bit older. You know, he hasn't really changed a whole lot.
She does the Nemo's, Nemo, whatever those little things, clothing as well. I did not know that. She did that blazer that she's wearing is something that she designed and she sells. Next celebration is in London. Is it normal to put up a different country than the US? Yeah, I think this is going to be the second or third time in London. It's been in Germany. It's been in Tokyo. It does travel around the world. I want to talk about that a bit too. Daniel's son, Karate Kid. Oh, Daniel's son. Yeah, so I thought that was a funny story. So when they were filming Episode 2, Tamara Morrison, who played the father, like Jango Fett.
Jango
Fett, and then Daniel Logan played the son. So he said to Daniel, he said, "I'm your father in the show. I want to be your father when we're on the set. Like even if we're not recording, look at me as your father, and we'll stay in character all the time. Like I'll be your dad when we're on the set, whether we're filming or not filming. Think of me as your dad. Call me dad. I'll call you son." And that was kind of what they did. And Daniel, growing up, didn't really have a father. I think he was 2 years old when his father left. His mother brought him up himself, and he always looked at Tamora Morrison as his dad after filming episode 2. And still to this day, he's like his adopted dad. It's something that he's always goes back to say. Hi, Katie.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So he has a story to tell about it. Now it's kind of getting a little bit of backlash now, but it's kind of a funny story.
Yeah, I love him. I mean, I've said many times when he said that, you call me dad and I'll call you son. It was really the reason why that father and son bond was really so strong, really because of him. But nowadays, everyone always asks me if he's my real damn father. I never knew my father most of my life. He was somewhere else and could possibly be. I mean, New Zealand only had 2 million people. So I never discredit it, Like, I don't know. It's an island life.
Island life.
He could be my dad at the right age.
Hey, yeah.
So I thought that was kind of a funny.
Truth
funny
is
story.
stranger than fiction.
Yeah. Steve says, "I don't know eBay, so if Mary doesn't resell it, it will get sold, used on eBay for reselling tools. If Mary doesn't resell, it won't get resold." Yeah, if you don't put it on eBay, you don't sell anything. That's generally how. If you don't put it on it. Did you guys ever meet any of Daniel Logan or any of the celebrities over the years? Anybody in the chat have any meetups?
Nope.
Not really. No. Sitting beside Tamora Morrison is I'm terrible. As soon as I hit record, I don't remember. The designer of episode 2. Doug Chang.
Doug Chang. There you go.
Doug Chang. Yeah. So when I was at Celebration in Chicago, I was just kind of like walking around looking at the different things they're selling and all that. And also I see this guy go, "That's Doug Chang." And I go, "You're Doug Chang?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh my gosh, what are you just walking around?" He goes, "Yeah, I want to see what's happening and all that." And so,
Wow.
yeah. So can I get a selfie with you? And he goes, "Sure." So I got a selfie with him, and I had my badge, and he signed my badge for me. And then did you see the Lego display I said to him? And he goes, "No, like, come here, I'll show you." So I showed him the Lego display. He was all impressed by it. Like, "You like this?" He goes, "That's really cool." He liked that. It was with all the little stormtroopers that made a stormtrooper head.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like, it's a design type of thing. So yeah, he liked that. So it was kind of cool. I got to hang out with him for like 3-4 minutes, which was really neat. Which was, one of the great things about going to Celebration. The where was I going with this?
Meeting.
We have no idea.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, what do you got here? Harry saying Mary was talking about selling stuff today, actually, but that was just Steve's stuff. Mary Beaches says, "No, never met him, but the funny thing is I probably wouldn't have known who he was before tonight." Just kidding. It was an old Disney dress. What is she? That must be a reply on something. Just saying fun. Yeah, it is kind of fun when you run into people. As a podcast, I think the very first podcast I listened to was used to be the Force Cast, and now it's Rebel Force Radio. I ran into both of them at both celebrations. Just kind of walking around and go, "Hey, I know you." Or actually, I recognized their voice first, which is kind of weird, because you hear their voice all the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But that's kind of the fun things about going to these celebrations. The next thing I want to show, this is kind of cool. They were doing the Galaxy's Edge panel, And so they were explaining how the attraction works, how Rise of Resistance works, how Smuggler's Run works, and what was involved in building it. And they built. I was actually at the panel when they announced Galaxy's Edge was coming to Disney World and Disneyland, and how there was going to be 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, we're not building 1, we're building 2, one in Disney World, one in Disneyland. And everybody went nuts, of course. So the Millennium Falcon that you see built there, it's the first time they ever built a full-size Millennium Falcon, because it's always just been half of one or part of one, like just a door. And again, they had to build 2. They didn't build just 1. So they were built at a warehouse type of thing and then shipped to Disney World and Disneyland. And to make things simpler, they built them both at the same place at the same time. So this is the first time that 2 full-size Millennium Falcons were parked right beside each other, which is kind of cool.
Just one beautiful rendered Millennium Falcon, but there were actually 2 side by side. This was kind of the coolest moment in the entire world, getting to drive around the road to the vendor that was working on this, and pulling back the security curtain that we had. And this is really the one and only time there'll ever be 2 Millennium Falcon parked next to one another.
That's incredible.
Well, it was also, yeah. That's cool. Because this was also the first time that any Millennium Falcon had been built full.
Wow.
So, I thought that was really, really cool. And when they built them, of course, the problem with the Millennium Falcon is it's a huge, huge ship. It's actually based on a hamburger with an olive beside it. And George was kind of looking at his plate, and he went, "Hey, that would make a good ship." Like the outline of the thing with the olive beside it, which is the cockpit. But it has tiny legs. And in practicality, that ship would collapse amongst itself because the legs are so small. So not only are they building, the legs have to support it, it also have to support in case there's a hurricane in Florida, in case there's an earthquake in California, all sorts of other weathering and damage and all that. So they had to take a lot of things into account. So they showed I took a screenshot of it. I'm not sure why I don't have it here, but they have massive, like those legs go like 10 feet underground to support the ship. And so those 4 little things, they almost like screws, kind of, that they screw them into the ground almost. Like huge things, and that's what the legs.
Wait! You're saying there's an illusion to all of this?
Yeah. Sorry to spoil it.
No,
Mary's saying I didn't.
No.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. The Rise of Resistance, the ship that you get into in Rise of Resistance, that has. You end up actually spinning around in that ship inside. There's a Mon Calamari piloting it, right? No, who's piloting it? Yeah, it's Mon Calamari piloting the ship. The first ship you get into on Galaxy's Edge that you end up
Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is a Mon Calamari. Yeah.
Yeah. So that ship. Those 2 ships, the one in Disney World and Disneyland, are actually built in the Philippines, and they flew them or shipped them to California and Florida from where they were built. Which I don't know why they picked the Philippines to build them. I mean, the other thing too is those 2 Millennium Falcons that were built. They had to dismantle them into pieces that would fit into shipping containers to ship them to Disney World. They can't ship the entire whole Millennium Falcon on the highway.
You mean they couldn't fly it there?
yeah, they just flew it there. That's how they cheap labor. Yeah, but you know what, Mary?
You're saying, there's illusions involved? Wait.
Yeah. Cheap labor could have been part of it, but like the AT-ATs weren't built. They were built in the U.S. The Falcons were actually built in the U.S. I don't know why they chose those particular ships. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, exactly. I would absolutely lose it to see 2 Millennium Falcons side by side. That's like the biggest excitement of ever.
Yeah.
So it was kind of neat, interesting to it. So when they took those ships apart, they numbered all the pieces So when they got to Florida and to California, they were all numbered and they were supposed to go back into this right spot. But I guess some of the numbers were written upside down, and so they're like, is this a 69 or a 96?
Oh my
And
gosh.
there's all this mangled metal, and they're trying to figure out where everything is. They had a really hard time getting them built at Florida and California.
Wow.
Quick, get the person who can do jigsaw puzzles.
Yeah,
no kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the next video I have is this is a spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen Mandalorian season 2 yet, but it's been out for a while. So the scene in Mandalorian season 2 where Grogu and Luke are meditating in front of the pond,
Mm-hmm.
and they have, like, they're supposed to be meditating, and of course Grogu's getting hungry, so he's food on his mind all the time, so he's thinking of frogs. So he starts lifting these frogs up out of the water.
Yep.
So they explained how they do that shot in our next clip.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And I wondered if you could tell us the story of the frog scene from the Book of Boba Fett, when Baby Grogu is elevating the frogs.
Oh yeah,
we all know Baby Grogu's favorite snack. Frogs and frog eggs. But tell us about the creation of that scene where he elevates all of the frogs out of the...
You know, this was one of those moments where, you know, everybody has a huge amount of responsibility when we're working on this show. And you kind of stick your neck out sometimes and you think, I think this is a good idea. But it's that inside voice. And then when you start talking to people about what you think the idea is, you realize the look on their faces that it doesn't sound like a good idea. So the particular scene you're looking at right now where he basically lifts all the frogs out of the water, this was obviously a very small set that we had on our backlot, and there was obviously a small pond that was made by the production designer and the art department team, Andrew Jones, fabulous individual and a fabulous crew. And we had this little pond, and I needed them to kind of get some splashing water and some dripping water. So I said, well, let's just go buy some wind-up toy frogs that kids play with in their bath. We'll put a string on them, and then we'll just have a bunch of folks in the background just pulling on all these strings and just lifting all these frogs up, and they'll be winding and the legs are kicking and water dripping off. It'll be excellent. So all of a sudden, we decided to kind of test this, and there's this little paddling pool with these wind-up frogs and all these strings, and there's about 5 guys all pulling on these strings and lifting up. I'm thinking, this is never going to work. But we're already in at that point. So then the next day we're going to get to this scene, and the crew's all around, and you're trying to move through the scene as quickly as possible. And you've got Mark Hamill on set, you've got Baby Yoda on set, and you've got Graham, and Dave's there, and John's there, and everybody. Then all of a sudden this rig rolls out that I suggested was going to be a good idea, with this bar and all these frogs, and you see all these guys winding them up, and everybody's thinking, what are we doing now? So all these frogs are in the water, and all these guys are, and then Dave's sitting there, he just looks at me like this. He goes, are you ready for your masterpiece, Rich? So I kind of turn, and he says, okay, action. And then all of a sudden, you know, Graham's kind of doing all this, and then all the frogs start going up, and they're all whining. 2 aren't even working, they're just kind of going up this way. But they're all dripping water, and I'm getting really excited, and I'm thinking, this is actually working, this is working. And they lift it all the way up, and then they drop them in a splash, and it looked fantastic. And the whole crew just started applauding, and I thought, I'll be here tomorrow. They'll bring me back.
I'll be here tomorrow.
So now the frogs that we see, of course, aren't the wind-up frogs. They later, you know, put computer-generated frogs over top of the wind-up frogs. But what that creates is, I mean, it's hard to see on your little phones, but when you watch in a high definition, when he brings the frogs out, there's actual water dripping off of the frogs, and when they go down, each one of them create a splash. Pretty simple solution for a complicated problem.
You just described special effects right there in a nutshell.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah, so I thought that was hilarious how he stuck his neck out on the line, and people were like, kind of
that's one of the reasons I love the whole area of special effects and visual effects in movie making, because it is so often. Sometimes it's really complicated solutions to make something that seems very simple, and sometimes it's very simple solutions to make something that seems very complicated.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, I thought that was a fun little video. So this is the last clip I have. We're getting near the top of the hour.
We are.
This is them actually creating Grogu, and what was involved in designing the little guy to make him look ugly cute.
Yes.
and the kind of the steps that they went through.
Create a character that fans would love. This was our first pass. We translated David's sketches literally, but it didn't capture the cuteness that John was looking for. So we started exploring character expressions to see if we could find the right level of charm and personality to define his character design. We also took a pass to make him look more like a gnome, but it wasn't quite working. And finally, we came back to something that was more Yoda-like. This seemed to be the direction that worked the best. We were all circling something, and we knew we were in the zone, but none of these were hitting the perfect note for John. And John kept describing him as ugly cute, something that's not designed to be cute. And it turned out that the eyes were the key. John wanted them to be dog-like, with giant dark pupils. And not human-like. Yeah. When they're human eyes, where you can see the white's the color of his eyes, it gets very strange very fast. And this is really curious because Yoda has human eyes, and it looks great for him. But oddly, when we gave Grogu human eyes, he just looked creepy and psychotic. And then finally, Christian Ultimate cracked it with these designs. Like a puppy dog, there's just enough white in his eyes visible to make him look adorable. Seeing that tiny bit of white gave his eyes a very charming, sympathetic look. Then dressing him in this oversized sack completely captured that ugly cute factor. Yes. Yay. Yeah. As you can see, there's incredible charm in his eyes and his pouty mouth with a slight overbite. Taken individually, these features are not cute by themselves, but together, it's an adorable combination. And in case you're curious, this is what he looks like underneath.
I don't know if I needed to see that.
What do you got under there?
Oh gosh,
scary beyond all reason.
so that was Doug Chang. That was who I met in Chicago at Star Wars Celebration. And people ask me, why do you want to go to these conventions? Well, that's why, because they got these panels that really, if you're a fan of something like D23 Expo is coming up in September, and they're going to have like classic animation panel or computer generated panel or Marvel or another Star Wars one, or Pixar is going to have a panel. Simpsons, I went to the Simpsons panel. It was so funny. It was so much fun. And you get to learn so much stuff, and you get to see stuff that you've never seen before on the internet or on behind the scenes on DVDs or anything like that, which is amazing. Stuart Freeborn has said that he used his own face in Albert Einstein's eye, his original Yoda. Yes. Yeah, it was Albert Einstein. Hey, there's she's going to be on the solo show coming up. She went to Star Wars Celebration, and we're going to be talking Star Wars Celebration on the solo show coming up in a couple of weeks.
Cool.
Yeah, Mary says like no one would have bought that first one. Yeah, they didn't stop at the first one.
No.
Okay, here we go. And that was your first celebration, isn't that right, Cuppy Cutie, or we just call her Hello Kitty Fett. But anyways, yeah, so next celebration is in London. Hold on here. And I guess what happened in Anaheim this weekend is the exact same thing that happened when I was in Orlando and he announced it was going to be in London next year. Everybody booed. It's not going to be back in the States. I'm looking at hotels right now. I'm thinking I might be going.
Of course you are.
Of course I am. Yeah, I'm looking at.
Why wouldn't you be?
Oh, it was her second. It was her second time going. There we go. Yeah, I'm looking at flights. I'm looking at hotels. I think I'm going to be going to this one. Might as well tack on Disneyland Paris to it while I'm there. Why not, eh?
Right.
Hey,
you're
why not?
almost there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my little 1 hour tour of Star Wars Celebration. It's abbreviated of the four-day extravaganza. And the problem with going to these things is they'll have like 3, 4, 5 theaters or rooms where they have these different panels.
Mm-hmm.
So it's impossible to go to all of them.
Yeah, right. The one that I watched last night, it was from like 2 days prior, was Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen together.
Mm-hmm.
That one, it was like 11 minutes or something. It was absolutely unbelievable having them on that stage together talking. And that one was really, really good.
It was. Yeah, I did watch that one too. And like for example, so Doug Chang was doing his presentation talking about the making of Grogu and his designing Star Wars. Meanwhile, the StarWars.com stage, Ewan McGregor just happened to grab a mic and just walked out on stage unannounced, basically saying how much he loved Celebration. This is his first time at Star Wars Celebration. He says, "I had such a good time." And then somebody in the audience yells, "Are you going to be back next year?" And he said, "Yes, I am." He said, so it's moments like that too that are extra special.
Yeah,
where you get to these surprise. You go to a panel that you're not expecting something to happen. Like it'll be like the Hallmark panel, and all of a sudden John Williams will walk out and talk about something. The music that went into the making one of the ornaments. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been anywhere overseas, Mary. This will be my longest flight for sure. So, what's coming up on Grand Circle Tour, guys? We talked Sunday.
We talked on Sunday. We talked about the Marvel MCU Phase 4.
Yeah.
Where we are, what we know, where we think it's going. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So that's coming up this week. If you have watched Kenobi already, check out our solo show. Kenobi, the three of us were on as well as Scott Clark and Jason. Skipper Jay. We talked about Kenobi Part 1 and Part 2, and I'm going to give myself a pat on the back because I kind of made a good prediction, and we play our predictions as well.
Yeah, make sure to listen to that. It was a lot of fun doing that, so I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, and have you listened to it yet, you two?
Mm-hmm. Listen to it this morning.
Victor's ad, Ken put the Kenobi theme underneath Victor's ad at the beginning. That sounded really good. With Victor's ad sounds great with the Kenobi theme.
Yeah, and we just released our detour on Grand Floridian, and then next week we have another detour coming out for Caribbean Beach.
Nice.
Cool.
Excellent. Alrighty. Well, that's going to be pretty much it for us this week. You guys don't have any final comments?
Nope.
I want to point out our new graphic that we have at the beginning of our closing and the beginning of our opening. So check that out. Who's excited for She-Hulk? Ken's asking. I can hardly wait for that. That's my type of Marvel story where it has humor involved in it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to. So check out our little graphic here at the beginning of the closing before you log off. It's only like 13 seconds. I put a lot of hard work into this graphic. Check it out.